Hey guys, welcome to Armchair Conversations with Rob. Uh, since I was answering questions about energy, I figured I'd add on something that I think is interesting. And this is the effect of those disciplines as far as like putting out the positivity and then positivity coming back and so on and so forth. I do think that whatever you put out affects your world. And I think if you do it chronically, it will begin to take on a mind of its own and bring back to you even long after you've quit the practice. Um, for example, you can be negative and down and depressed and sad and attract in all the things that come along energetically with being down, depressed, and sad, and things begin to happen to you maybe that you don't want to happen because they're going to continue to exacerbate and try to maintain this feeling that you have of being a victim, sad, depressed, everything always happens to me, nothing ever goes my way, blah, 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 blah. And so those things will begin to steamroll into your life if you do that chronically enough. If you maintain that energy level and that mind state chronically enough, your subconscious brain, if you want to put it on the brain level and the science level, is going to do things to continue to manifest what you have believed about yourself and about your world and about what's going to happen to you, even without your consciously being aware of it. And that happens chronically enough, you're going to manifest those results chronically. Now, that does not mean there's no hope in that you can't turn things around and do things differently, because you can, but you may have to make do and accept the fact that it's going to be shitty for a while because of the length of time that you had this attitude and these behaviors. And you may not just pop right out of it just because you change your mind today and you're real positive. Instant gratification does not always work here. Okay. You may be gratified by the fact you changed your mind state, but that may not commensurate with what happens to you for a while, because longevity has effect. I tell most of my friends this all the time. Um, and you do something long enough, there's going to be some kind of collateral damage, whether positive or negative. There's going to be some kind of compound interest, especially when you're talking about your emotional bank account and your energetic and spiritual bank account. And if you've bankrupted it and put it in the negatives, you have to wait for some paychecks to build it back up in the real world, do we not? Well, that same thing applies to your personal life as far as your energy and spirit and your emotional world. You have to work on making deposits to build up that bank account, if you put it in that terms. So in other words, just because you decide, oh, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to be positive now, and I'm going to just go out there and I'm going to do it, and then you run into crappy situations, still negativities around you, surrounding you, the people that you are around maybe are discouraging you or being mean to you, rude to you, whatever. And you look at it and say, well, wait a minute, I was positive today, so why didn't it come back? Well, just like it took time to build that negative world, it's going to take time to build a positive one. And so I'd say to you, don't give up hope, but also understand and see the law in effect. That what you put out is what you get back. What you reap, what you sow, as the Bible says. As a man thinketh in his mind, so is he. There's so many examples of people saying that what you put out comes back to you, and it steamrolls the longer you do it. Longevity has effect. So don't give up if you're just starting on the positive track and things aren't coming back to you in a positive way yet. You're still attracting some residual from the negativity that you had before, so be aware of that. By the same token, though, once you get to that positive state and you're able to hold that and you're able to push toward that and be for that, eventually that longevity will have effect also, and you will begin to reap positive results from your actions. So my main thing for that is just don't give up, even though maybe right now you're switching from positive to negative or from negative to positive, and realize that the results are going to come based on that. So again, just want to throw that one out there as an add-on, because I had a couple questions in that vein. Because people tend to want instant gratification when they change something, but sometimes it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes you have to overcome the programming. It's just like sometimes the chains of habit are very, very thin, but over time they get stronger and stronger, and it makes it harder and harder to break them. Well, the same has to do with the law of attraction, where you attract back to you what you've put out and things that you secretly desire. That's why you have to work on you deeply, figure out what it is you're about, what you need, how you feel about yourself, and how you want to feel about yourself, so that you can create a different scheme for your life. In the meantime, if you appreciate it, thank you. I appreciate you too. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, hey, that's what search engines are for. You'll find something that you need, because this isn't for everybody. But for those who want to go, I'm willing to share and journey with you. Thank you for sharing my armchair, and have a great day wherever and whenever you are.